Hey there, Robin.
Hi, Stephanie.
Can you believe we're already in series 6?
No, not at all.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking back where we started. Remember Nervous System 101?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That attachment and rewiring. And now here we are talking about collective trauma. Let's pause there a moment to let that sink in.
Yeah, it's wild. And honestly, it feels like the right time because lately it's not just personal stress people are feeling, it's the collective kind. The kind that sits in the air, in your body, in the way people move through the world right now. We feel it.
Totally. 100%. I personally keep hearing clients and friends say, I'm exhausted, but I don't even know why. Like they're running uphill without realizing the whole track is on fire.
Yes, right? Like the baseline has shifted, but no one told our bodies. Our systems are constantly scanning for that safety, but the signals are all mixed. Everything feels uncertain. And here we are, supposed to just kind of keep on functioning.
I know. So that's kind of why we wanted to start this particular series, to give language and compassion to what it means to live in a world that's always on.
Yes. To say, you're not crazy, you're not broken, and you are definitely not alone.
Definitely not alone. So before we dig in, maybe let's just do what we always do. Arrive together.
Okay, let's take a breath. And not the kind that fixes anything, just the kind that lets you feel your body again. Notice where you're holding tension. Is it in the jaw, the shoulders, the stomach? All of those quiet places that brace without permission. Let's let your feet meet the ground or feel your weight being supported somehow. And notice that gravity's got you. It always has. And now imagine the air moving through you and noticing that isn't separate from anyone else's. Somewhere, someone else is taking this same breath. Maybe someone scared, someone hopeful, someone numb. You are breathing the same air as all of them. And that's collective life. That's collective regulation. The shared biological process that happens when safety, empathy, and calm ripple. And that can ripple through groups. And that syncs our bodies, much like music aligns heartbeats. Think about the hush that falls over a crowd during a moving speech, or the laughter that spreads in a room until everyone's shoulders drop. That's collective regulation at work. It's the reminder that we are quite literally in this together.
Wow, that right there is the perfect start. Because collective trauma is really about that, the shared body we all live in.
Yes. When the world hurts, we hurt. When it's tense, we tighten. When it's grieving, we go quiet.
And a lot of people are in that quiet right now, that kind of numb silence that isn't peace, maybe even stiffness. It's just the body conserving energy.
Exactly. I think that's what we misunderstand about numbness. It's the body's way of protecting itself, that self preservation. It's the nervous system saying, you can't hold anymore. And that, if you think about it, is sacred in its own way.
I agree. How powerful. Because there is so much guilt attached to numbness. Like if you're not actively feeling everything, you're somehow disconnected or unkind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And grief has phases. Sometimes it's tears, sometimes it's rage, sometimes it's the stillness that looks like not caring, but is actually the body catching up with itself.
So that is what collective grief looks like also. Entire communities suspended between awareness and fatigue. Still showing up, still caring, but at a lower hum.
Yes, right. Our systems can only metabolize so much. And it's easy to confuse shutdown for hopelessness when it's actually your body preserving you for when hope returns.
It will return. So notice that that's a message from your nervous system. It is actually quite merciful. If you ask me how you said sacred, right? It's trying to get you a message to slow down, hold on, wait a minute. So that's the heartbeat of our season. This season, learning what it means to hold hope in the middle of that shutdown without forcing it and without pretending.
Right. Hope that doesn't deny the fire, but still looks for life inside of it. And maybe that's where we find our shared resilience in the quiet refusal to stop caring, even when it hurts.
As we shift from reflection to understanding, let's explore how this collective experience translates into the body, how awareness becomes physiology, which brings us to today's nervous system nugget: collective regulation.
Collective regulation is what happens when safety, empathy, or calm spread between people the same way fear or panic do. It's how we can borrow steadiness from one another.
I really like how that was put, borrowing steadiness from one another. We usually talk about co-regulation like one-on-one, right? As a parent and child, therapist and client. But the collective regulation is that energy multiplied. Think about it. When a whole group attunes to safety or compassion, it becomes a physiological current, something we can all feel and even measure.
Think about a classroom where one calm teacher changes the tone, or a neighborhood that rallies together after loss. Those are moments when nervous systems sync in service of safety.
And truthfully, that's what gives me hope. Because if fear is contagious, thank goodness, so is regulation.
Ooh, I like that. Right?
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm. One person modeling groundedness can ripple outward in real biological ways.
If you've ever doubted that your small acts of calm or kindness matter, they really do. They actually help recalibrate the space around you.
It's like nervous system alchemy. You don't even need words, just presence. And that presence becomes the medicine where collective healing begins.
Today, our coping tool for this episode is micro moments of shared humanity. This idea builds on what we've just discussed, that collective regulation often begins with the smallest gestures of care, the ones we extend to one another in everyday moments. There's a bridge between individual nervous system care and collective regulation.
So these are the smallest, most human gestures that help both your system and someone else's remember we're not alone here.
Things like meeting someone's eyes instead of rushing past, saying a real thank you, or silently wishing someone well. That inner whisper of, may they be safe.
It's not about being endlessly positive. None of that toxic positivity. It's about practicing orientation toward connection. The nervous system reads that as safety.
I love that you said that. I do. It's like, oh, I hope she says it. I hope she does. So that toxic positivity thing, it's something I feel like I'm kind of surrounded by in the community I live in. So it makes it tough. But even if you don't see an immediate result, it still counts. Those dividends, they will pay off. Your body knows when it's choosing connection over collapse.
Because every moment you humanize someone, you rehumanize yourself.
Take a moment to carry this grounded sense of connection with you, letting it linger as you move through the rest of your day. And as we close, please take a soft breath and hold on to this truth that even in collective pain, there's a quiet thread of resilience connecting us all. Let's pause here for just a moment to let everything settle before turning inward. And I think that brings us to today's reflection question.
I want you, if you're open to it, to ask yourself this. Where have you witnessed micro moments of shared humanity lately? Something that may have reminded you the world isn't only on fire, it's also full of embers of care. Those are the sparks that keep the nervous system alive and the collective heart beating.
That was beautiful. The embers of care. It's true. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us, for breathing, reflecting, and just really being part of this shared work. It means a lot to us.
Yes, it does. Because even when the world feels like too much, you're still part of something vast and living and good.
And remember, healing isn't linear, and we're here for the ride. Thanks for sitting with us today. If something resonated, we'd love it if you shared the episode, left a review, or connected with us on social. We're two therapists walk into a podcast on most platforms. You can listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not replace therapy, and does not establish a therapist-client relationship. If you're in crisis, please reach out to a qualified mental health professional or call 988 in the U.S. Robin Green is a licensed therapist in Arizona, and Stephanie Edsall is licensed in Utah, but this podcast is intended for a general audience.